This is Nausheenali Sardar, and I would like to introduce you to Mr. Sulaiman Bhimani, a very famous and popular personality in Mumbai, India. Celebrated for his roles as an advocate, human rights and consumer rights champion, right to information's campaigner, and a dedicated community leader. Here are the key highlights of his background and remarkable contributions. His expertise shines in addressing RERA issues, including intricate matters such as possession dates and the revocation of gift deeds for senior citizens. Human rights campaigner Mr. Sulaiman Bhimani is deeply committed to promoting the effective use of the Right to Information Act, also known as RTI. He conducts impactful seminars and workshops, equipping individuals with the tools to access vital information while advocating transparency and accountability, with a specific focus on RERA-related concerns. Currently, we see every second building going for redevelopment. Let's understand the risks involved in redevelopment projects. So, Bhimani ji, let's continue this. Tell us.
So, we had, one episode that was part 1. Now, this will be the part 2.
Yeah.
So, let's see now what part 2 we have to cover the question.
Our citizens have a lot of questions. So, please tell us, Bhimani ji, what is FSI and TDR?
See, FSI is a ratio that indicates how much area can be built or developed on that particular plot of land depending upon the width of the road. It is also known as floor space ratio or floor area ratio. Example, if the FSI of a locality is say 2.5, right, and the area of the plot is 500 square meter or 5,000 square meter, then the building which is to be constructed on the said plot will have a total build-up area of not more than 12,500 square meters. Alternatively, if we want to understand how much FSI has been consumed by a building on a plot, we divide the total build-up area, all the floors of the building, by the total area of the plot. The FSI is available in that particular area or locality. In Mumbai, will be provided in the DCPR, that is called TDR on the other hand, is a benefit in the form of FSI. Now, I'll make you understand. Now, suppose I am in Kurla and in Santa Cruz area, which comes under the funnel of the airport authority, that fly zone. So, the height is restricted. Now, what happens to the balance FSI if I have consumed less FSI? Now, the balance FSI, I can shift it in, that is called TDR, transfer of development rights, to any other plot. Then second is, now there are n number of slums in our suburbs. So when they make a permanent transit camp, we want the road widening, that metro is going on. So whatever the structures or the slums come in the development are given into that PTC. So developers, what they do is they develop that permanent transit camp for the slum dwellers and the project affected people, which is known as PAP, and they cannot construct a sale component building there because people prefer that the sale component should be little away from the PAPs or the slum redevelopments. Then that is again considered as a TDR and transferred into the sale component. Suppose I am developing now a slum in Kandivali. Now, in that slum, if I make a sale component building also, I am not going to sell because of the locality. So what I do is I make a permanent transit camp there. So whatever the project affected people are there, they are being shifted into that PAPs or the PTC. And whatever the FSI is balanced for the sale component to make money, because when I'm constructing slum, I'm putting my money. To cover up that money, I get a FSI in the form of TDR, which I can, transfer it to Andheri, Bandra, depending upon the rate. If there is a 1,000 square feet rate in Kandivali, suppose, and if it comes to Bandra, if it is 3,000 rupees, so I have to pay the 2,000 rupees difference. This is just, I'm giving an example to make you understand. And then I get that TDR in Bandra for 3,000 rupees. So this is how the arithmetic works.
Bhimani ji, please tell us, what is the additional FSI available for redevelopment of existing residential housing societies?
You mean to say that if I am having a flat of 600 square feet, right? So what is the additional area that is available to an existing member. It is the Subodh Kumar, the commissioner of MCGM, I think he was somewhere in around 2010 to 2012. He had come out with this idea which is called a fungible FSI. Now what was happening is the builder used to charge you for the duct, for the flower bed, for the balcony. See, balcony was free of FSI.
Okay.
MCGM was not getting any premium for that.
Okay.
Right? And people used to cover that flower bed also, remove the duct, and they are using it.
Correct.
Right? The builder used to charge to the home buyer.
Correct.
This is the area you are going to use it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to charge you accordingly.
Yeah.
So now there was a loss to the corporation because if the government has to survive, then they should get enough money.
Yeah.
So now what happens? He comes out that the existing members, the builder will give 35% to them. Suppose now I have an area of 600 square feet. Then 35 square feet, 35% will come to 210 square feet. So I will get 810 square feet.
Okay.
That 35% will be free of charge. There will be no premium on that 35%. And that fungible FSI cannot be used for the sale component also. It has to be used for the existing member only. So only the builder, what he will have to do is, he will have to spend extra 200 square feet construction cost. That is going to cover from the sale component. Since the FSI and TDR available on the plot will depend on which area of Mumbai is the building situated and its corresponding provision in the DCPR. The incentive available will be different in each area. However, generally, where existing members are proposed to be re-accommodated on the same plot, subject to other conditions, the incentive additional build-up area to the extent of 35%, that is called fungible FSI, to the existing build-up area of 10 square meters per tenement, whichever is more, is permissible without premium. So that is a good thing which Subodh Kumar has worked out, that for 35% there will be no premium, and that has to be given to the existing member free of cost.
Bhimani ji, in the earlier days, when we were kids, we used to have one family, one car, and parking was not an issue. Even when building ke bahar jab cars used to be parked, it was allowed. Now everything is chargeable, and so many cars per family. So how much parking space can be allotted in case of redevelopment?
See, in the redevelopment now, the existing members, they normally insist that if the 60 members are there or 30 members are there, the one parking for existing member, that the builder has to give it, right? But in the sale component, they have come out with some areas, which I'm going to explain you. But now how the parking issue started. When the building were constructed in 70s and 80s, there were only three cars, two cars. One was Fiat and one was Ambassador. They were small in size, right?
Yeah.
And in late 80s, Maruti came, which was also small. But now we have SUV cars, and initially there were only one car per family.
Yeah.
Now each member of the family wants to have a car.
Yeah.
Right? So there are two cars or three cars. So this issue is there, but this issue has been, addressed by the MCGM. The benefit of the redevelopment includes being allotted parking in the new building to be constructed. Accordingly, DCPR provides that for the development under DCPR, that is 33(7)(b, at least one parking space to be provided for every 4 tenements and 4 units or 4 flats having carpet area up to 45 square meter. That means if the flat is of 500 square feet, so in 4 flats, as per DCPR, in the sale component, they will get 1 parking each. And 2 tenements or 2 flats with carpet area exceeding 45 square feet but not exceeding 60 square feet. So if it is between 500 to 650, then 2 parkings for every 4 flats. So that has been increased, right? And further, that as case of A and B, at the option of the owner, developer may provide 1 parking for each tenement, which I told you that if we are the society and we say no, all the 60 members, whether the flat is 400 square feet or 500 square feet or 600 square feet, each member should have one parking. And if builder says yes, then he has to provide one car parking for the existing member, and for the sale component as per the DCPR. Now, one car parking for the flat which has more than 60 square meters of area but not exceeding 90 square meters. Now, if the flat is exceeding more than 90 square meters, then there are two parkings. So it depends upon the size of your flat, how much parking the builder has to make, adjustment or provision for the sale component and as per the existing member. Now there has to be some space for the visitor parking, that is the 25% of the total parking which he is planning, the 25% of that slot will be kept for the visitors. Now suppose if anybody is visiting to my flat and if he doesn't get a parking, where is going to flat? So you have to keep a provision of 25% of the total parking for the visitors, or you make an extra arrangement.
So this one parking is given along with the flat as chargeable?
See, the RERA has come out that if it is a covered parking, now because everything is under RERA, if he wants to sell, he has to sell as per RERA. So all the covered parking, garages or mechanical parking, that can be sold, but whatever is open to the sky, that the builder has no right to sell it. It goes to the society and the society can allot it as and when the society is formed. If there are more number of parking and less number of parking is available, then they will have to go to the lottery system or by the rotation system.
Got it.
So
right.
that will be the cooperative, so it will be governed by the Cooperative Society Act or the bylaws of the society.
Okay, that's very interesting. One of our viewers asked a question that how to determine whether a building needs to be redeveloped? Like, what's the criteria?
Yeah. The society has to appoint a government-approved structural engineer, architect to conduct a structural survey and audit of the building once every 5 years when the age of the building is more than 30 years. And once every 3 years when the age of the building is more than 30 years old. The report of such structural audit would reveal the condition of the building and indicate whether the society needs to undertake a development. If the structural report suggests that the building needs to be redeveloped and cannot be restored, the society should consider redevelopment. Now here, there are many categories. That is C3 category, C2 category and C1 category. So if your building comes in C3 or C2 category, you can, by staying in the building, you can repair the building. But once the C1 category is declared, then the MCGM will come and cut your water connection, your electric supply, because it is a dangerous building, you cannot stay there. So you have to vacate, go on the lease and repair the building if you don't want to go for the redevelopment. So that becomes a very expensive affair. So once you understand that your building is going to be in a C1 category or it is in the last stage of C2 category, then you should start planning the redevelopment. Apart from the structural audit, which is obtained by the society, in the event the NCGM declares the building of the society as dilapidated, dangerous, or not for habitation, danger to the passers-by or any structure nearby, then the issue a notice for corrective repairs. In such case, also the society should consider redevelopment. Otherwise, you keep on every 3 years, 5 years, keep on spending your money in restoring and repairing your building.
Right. In fact, we had discussed this in our earlier episode also.
Yes.
Bhimani ji, tell us, can a society suo motu commence redevelopment without conducting a structural audit like we mentioned earlier?
No. A structural audit is must and it is mandatory. And the first and the foremost step and the foremost requirement taken for deciding the society can go for the redevelopment. If the structural audit recommends redevelopment, what steps society should take? In case an adverse structural audit report the managing committee shall within 1 month of the receipt of that report circulate the said report to all the members of the society and call them to give the written consent whether they are agreeable to redevelopment. The written consent has to be given by all the members within 14 days of the circulation of report. If 51% of the members of the society give their consent, the redevelopment to the managing committee can start the process of development. It is pertinent to note that before commencing the redevelopment of the society must ensure that the land is in the name of the society and in their favor. The property card is also there. It is in the interest of the land and the building before of the society. Further, the name of the society must reflect in the property card or Sat Bara Utara extract or 712 extract. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates on legal matters that affect you.
If you have any questions or want any clarifications, please contact us on the number given below, and you can contact us by email. And if you find this video informative, please like, share and subscribe for more engaging content on legal issues. See you again in the next video with a new topic.
Yes.
Till then, take care, stay blessed, be safe and remain healthy. Thank you so much, Bhimani ji.
Thank you so much.